Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Millennium Voices. Today, we have amongst us maybe the most special guest we can have here. We have with us Dr. Faisal Mushtaq, Tamga Imtiaz. He is the founder and CEO of TMUC Higher Education Group. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for taking out the time for us today.
Thank you, Ramsha, for inviting me to Millennium Voices.
Sir, I know this has been going back and forth quite a bit, but I'm very happy that you can, finally just give us the time that we need. I think your dialogue is very important.
I think your patience is my presence.
Not at all, sir. I think just the amount of patience I've learned by being at TMUC, not just as a student, but now working here, it's definitely something I've learned from you.
Thank you.
So, sir, I'd want to ask you, what exactly was your vision behind TMUC? And what led to the very creation that we are literally sitting in today?
Missing opportunities, lack of pluralism, lack of diversity, lack of equity in career mapping, in pathways, in progression, and in academic planning. Historically, we have a public sector universities, we have private sector universities, we have universities in federation, we have universities in provinces. And because of the large population size and the youth cohorts under 30 are more than 63%, so limited access in universities and degree awarding institutes as compared to our regional neighborhoods. So the entry test and examinations have been stressing Pakistani youth and limiting their choices. Hence, I wanted to bring the best of international universities and global best practices to the home country. This is not new. It is a global phenomena, transnational education, where the awarding body is in host country and recipient of education is in the home country. I and TMUC, we were the pioneers 15 years ago to create and set on sail for a transnational educational platform. Today, with 8 independent campuses all the way from Khyber to Karachi, we have the largest footprint of foreign UK transnational education in partnership with the University of London, Associated Universities, London School of Economics and Political Science, Royal Holloway, University College London, Birkbeck, Goldsmiths, and University of Creative Arts, and the University of Hertfordshire. We also teach the higher nationals through Pearson and the Chartered Accountancy qualification with ACCA UK and Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan.
Certainly, sir. So there's a lot of diversity to what we're offering. We're trying to cater to the very different groups of youths that exist within Pakistan because, like we said, it's not one mold setting that's there.
Yeah.
We have people coming from different backgrounds, with different passions, with different dreams that they want to achieve. And it sets a very different sort of like scale that you want to talk to when you're trying to grasp the attention of these students and say, hey, we're giving you something that is actually not being offered by anybody else. So give us a chance. We make sure that you're getting the education that you need, as well as the standard that you're expecting. Because like you said, something you said was very important. We're not just living by the regulations of Pakistan. Rather, we are addressing two regulatory bodies at the same time. So that means we're actually more stressed than maybe other Pakistani universities that you have.
Absolutely. It is called assured accountability, that you report to the regulators in your home country and you meet the expectations of the partner university and the regulators in the host country. Look, Ramsha, one size does not fit all. And you cannot have an ice cube approach to the development of youth, that you put them all together. Young people are a gift of nature. How do we nurture the nature? It is the responsibility of thought leaders, academic practitioners, intellectuals, and higher education practitioners. So my philosophy was that we need to recreate this ice cube child, and we need to test them with choices, with chances, and with the social change. So with a huge portfolio at TMUC for undergraduate degrees and for higher nationals, and for professional accountancy qualification, for professional legal qualifications, including LLB honours with the prestigious University of London and the University of Hertfordshire. We have a diploma, a professional qualification, a skill qualification, a foundation year with the NCC, National Computing Centre. All these programs and qualifications are fully accredited by the accreditation bodies in Pakistan, by the Bar Council, by the Higher Education Commission, and also through the partner universities. So we have created and endured a higher education ecosystem which is enabling, which is progressive, which is inclusive, and which brings in a huge variety of choice, and so that young people can pursue their passions. And I've told you so many times, Ramsha, that even with successful alumni like yourself, we do not want our graduates to be job seekers. We are a business-facing institute. We are an industry-ready and a future-ready higher education provider. We want job enablers. We want to promote entrepreneurship. And the denominator for entrepreneurship is to be in an environment where you have an incubation center. So with TMUC Accelerate, with such a huge campus life events, you celebrate Global Entrepreneurship Week, you celebrate MUNs, you have these dialogues, discussions, mooting competitions, scaling, Jessups, and you want to have a workshop,
symposiums,
seminars,
so many things, seminars, webinars.
And we have dialogues from Sustainable Development Goals. We have dialogues on climate change. We have dialogues on women empowerment and gender equity. We have dialogues on inclusion, equity, justice, growth, development, economy, society. So I think that TMUC today is not just a higher education provider, it is a social engineering or re-engineering organization which is changing the face and the future of Pakistan by embedding hope and global recognition and global access amongst the Pakistani youth at home country with fraction of the cost.
Certainly, sir. I think we're TMUC has just been a pillar that's sort of reconstructing the very meaning of education in Pakistan. So even as my experience as a TMUC student, I think wherever you were before, the sort of mechanisms were always like, read the next 2 pages, the question's going to come from here, and you're going to address those. But that's not the case in TMUC. At TMUC, you're really getting the student to digest the knowledge, apply it on real cases, and then to be able to reproduce that knowledge in your own words, which is, I think, something it's absolutely necessary. If you're not able to put your own opinion to the worldviews that are presented to you, you've not really gotten the crux of the argument in the first place.
Look at yourself and the free speech, Ramsha. I still remember you were a student. The kind of confidence, it comes from 3 verticals: knowledge, skills, and values. Now, when you have knowledge, skills, and values put together, you want to develop and design a higher education construct where you collaborate, where you share information, where there is collaborative learning, where there is research mindedness, where there is critical thinking, and when there is a meaningful dialogue that how do we design and reshape learning. And you rightly pointed out that here at TMUC, we don't focus on when and where. We focus on how and why of education. So why do we study transnational education, and how do we think that with global mindedness and with international validation of this foreign UK prestigious degree in the home country at fraction of the cost? And tell you something, Ramsha, all good ideas are always copied. Now, TMUC being the market leader in today's time and age, and I must say it for the first time, there are a lot of people, those who are inspired by us, and they do try to copy at times or rather plagiarize our script or our work and legacy. But let me tell you, you cannot take away that experience. You cannot take away the legacy. You cannot take away your alumni.
I think there's originality that comes with it.
Absolutely.
The very originality. I think the legacy, like you mentioned, that you come from yourself. And if I pull that legacy a little bit higher and I talk about your leadership itself, we're all stemming from your leadership. At the end of the day, you're somebody who comes in and redirects us completely when you see us going off page. I can say that even with my own personal work, like, no, Ramsha, it cannot be done this way. Pull it all apart, we're doing it again. And we have designed events as big as 500 people in under 12 hours. I mean, we have done everything. We have fun when we're working.
Your alumni event.
Yes, certainly. Oh, I think it was 12 hours that we just sat together, and everything from the design to the invites, everything, pull everything apart, do it again. Because perfection is something we look for. Because we need to give perfection to our students. Yeah. That's what they deserve. They've trusted us above everybody else. They deserve that from us. And I think, again, I'd like to say that it comes from your leadership.
It's a community. It's a community for life skills. It is a community for study skills. It is a community for global mindedness. And people don't work for us. People work with us. They say that you train people well, and they leave you, Ramsha, and you treat them well, they stay with you. We do both, and we train them well, we treat them well, and it's like a community of like-minded practitioners imbued by this passion for transnational education, and also doing it in a way that we keep the spirit of education alive, and we focus on case studies, assignments, life skills, research mindedness. If you look at our libraries and our research portfolios, and if you go to our technology, STEM, media labs, it's not just the infrastructure, it is also about the resources. So if you look at our design studios, you look at our fashion labs, you look at our filmmaking, textile labs, printing labs, technology labs, from modern day technology to 3D printers, to other smart interventions, multimedia enabled classrooms, learning management system, virtual learning environment, use of Turnitin, and academic honesty and conduct and integrity is at the heart of everything that we do. Another thing, Ramsha, there's no other TNE provider in the country which has independent campuses. And we are a group of more than 8 independent, purpose-built campuses for foreign education. And apart from that, we are also a chartered university, chartered by the government for providing degrees in entrepreneurship, in business, in technology, and in fashion, design, and arts. It's called the Millennium Institute of Technology and Entrepreneurship, for where I am the founding trustee, and that is a gift to the society as a non-profit to create knowledge. And I always say, and I think I would like to say it again, Ramsha, schools, they promote a knowledge society. Universities and institutes of higher education like TMUC, they sponsor and enable a knowledge economy. And as we speak about economy, GDP, capital markets, equity, employability, what good is it which comes not at the cost of your training, your mentoring, your coaching? So here at TMUC, your colleagues and your president and your dean and your leadership, we have established a national incubation center. It's called TMUC Accelerate. And look at the kind of talent that you are nurturing and you're incubating, and look at the difference and diversity. Another thing I want to mention, that we believe in equity and equal opportunity. We have need, merit, and talent scholarship. We are need blind. We feel that students should come from different social and national backgrounds. We have students from Balochistan, we have students from Gilgit-Baltistan, we have students from Punjab, South Punjab, we have students from Sindh, we have students from Islamabad, from Wah, from Mansehra. And I tell you something, Ramsha, that diversity, that pluralism, those federating agents from across Pakistan, the kind of delight and the kind of dialogue that they bring, and it is because of then we learn, relearn, and reshape who we are as TMUC.
Very true, sir. Very true. I think this sort of just gives a glimpse of the entire structure that we're working with on a daily basis. And it gets, yes, certainly there are challenges when you're dealing with 8 different campuses in 3 different provinces, and you're looking at, different sort of like the splurge of students that you have. They're come from completely different backgrounds at times, and to have to deal with their personal problems that align with their education is at times challenging, but the result at the end is very rewarding. And something that you mentioned, we spoke about the resources that are present within all of our campuses. I think one thing I will mention from my personal experience, the human resources that we have, the teachers that we have, the professors that we have. I cannot begin to explain the absolute finesse that they come from. I openly and proudly say this. TMUC is where I learned education, where I learned to study, where I learned to master the art of, digesting the very knowledge itself and presenting it with my view. This was something I was maybe not capable of before. But the mentors that I had, the professors, the teachers that I had, who at times spoon-fed me, but then challenged me
Absolutely.
to come up with my own views,
Yeah.
to be able to put up a strong argument and say, hey, I don't agree with you here. I have my own views.
Well, you have disagreed with me many times as well.
But sir, that is part of the job. I think you like me because I do disagree with you at times. But that's the fun. We bring our views together, we piece this puzzle together, and we create a mastermind.
I agree.
That's what we do.
Look, it's a process. Our pride is people like yourself, and we take immense pride in the people. It's the people's company. We have invested in people. And I always say to people, when you change your comfort zone, it may be a little painful on both sides, at the employer and the employee.
Yes.
But I've always said to my workforce, look, pain is temporary, pride is permanent. So today when I sit with you, with the kind of pride that you exuberate, and I also exuberate, it is a testament to the story of TMUC. Now, what's next for TMUC? Everything is not about a person or a personality. It is about governance. TMUC is the only institutionalized body in transnational education. So we have a board of governors. Then we have an advisory council, Ramsha. And within the advisory council, we have people from academia, from industry, arts, fashion, business, incubation. Then we have a corporate structure. So we have an international office, we have registry, we have accreditation office, we have marketing office, we have academic office, we have training and professional development, we have quality assurance, we have academic compliance, we have HR, and we have administration and operations and development and secure student safety. We have technology and digitization.
And we also have the ambassador who's overlooking the whole.
Absolutely. And then we have the president of this organization. And as the founder and the CEO, I take immense pride that I have a boss for myself.
I think it's
I
about
challenge
the fact
that, Ramsha.
You've put in such a beautiful team together.
Ramsha, I challenge this to many people, and especially in Pakistan, people say that, look, there is a man behind the show, that how many people would like to have a own boss for themselves. So I, as the CEO, I have a boss, and I report to the president, and I think because of that pluralism, that level acceptance that we agree to disagree, but that is what unites us. And I say this, Ramsha, what unites us at TMUC is far greater than what divides us.
Certainly,
and that is why
sir, yes.
we are a community of passionate, hearted, and progressive people, those who want to take Pakistan to amongst the global committee of nation. And we want to create this workforce which is incubated and nurtured with academic credentials, skills, accreditations, and progression regimes which are accepted globally with the level of experience, mentorship, and training they come and bring back. Pakistan does not need jobs, it needs solutions. Pakistan needs ideas, it doesn't need initiatives. Pakistan doesn't need policy, it needs impact. So I've always said it is about three things: the skilled people and the bill that the governments are ready to pay for the economic change, and then it is the skill and the will. So it is a story about three people, Mr. Skill, Mrs. Will, and the baby Bill. If the state has the skilled people, they are willing to pay the bill, and they have the will, we will become a developed country.
Yes, certainly, very true. Sir, so when we're talking about education, so we've spoken at length about TMUC. How do you see your legacy sort of just like going forward? What is the vision that you have? Not just for TMUC, for yourself, for the people that work here with you. Because again, we're such a well-oiled machine, I think, at this point. I think you're probably the only boss I've ever worked with who can sit and argue with me for hours, and at the end, we're putting our notes together and we're creating something new. So where do you see us going? Where do you see you going?
I'm a product of trial and error. I'm a simple, standard template boy, born in district Gujarat in a military hospital in Khariyan. I popped out to a passionate school teacher, my mom, and an army major at that time. And that local kid went to Army Public Schools and then later Cadet College Hassan Abdal and then University in Manchester and in London. And then I worked with PricewaterhouseCoopers. And I had clarity and a sense of purpose. I had early level of self-actualization and discipline. And I pushed myself into situations where I challenged the status quo. I am not a parachuter, Ramsha. I'm a grassrooter, and it took me the whole journey to be where I am, and I don't take pride in who I am and what I am today. I am committed and denominated by my passion, by my sense of purpose, by national pride, and by this ideology of transforming the society and the social contract through education, through knowledge, through research, to global mindedness. So I am always work in progress. Every night when I'm sleeping, I ask my conscious, am I delivering as per the expectations of the society and the social contract? And the next morning, I'm ready to do more. And I don't believe in just delegation. I believe in collaboration. I have sit and sat in all events, and as long as I am in a position to do so, because for me, it is my job. And people think that you are a chief executive officer and it's a responsibility. I think being a CEO, it's not a position, it is action. Leadership is action, it's not a position. And never ever I felt that I'm a chief executive officer. I call myself as the chief energy officer. And students at TMUC, they call me Sir Red Bull, that he gives us the energy or he gives us the wings. So I don't take anything to my head. Every day when I wake up, I'm a clean slate, a simple whiteboard. Yes, that whiteboard has evolved from the chalkboard.
Yes.
Then I was a chalkboard. Then because, with the chalk, there's dust. Then I became the whiteboard. Now these days, I'm a smart board. In future, I will be an AI board or maybe a space board or a sky board. I say to my students, sky is not the limit. Space is the limit. I say to my students, slow and steady does not win the race. It is the fast and consistent in today's time and age who wins the race. And Ramsha, the only thing which is constant in the future, it is called change itself. And the only thing which is certain, as you said, it is called uncertainty. So how do we come out in these testing times? With a smile, with hope, with passion. And I always say to my colleagues and my dear people around me, mehnat karo, hasad na karo.
Sir, lastly, I'd like you to give a very short message to anybody who is currently at TMUC as a student, people who want to join TMUC. What should be their goals be in life?
3 C's. Pick the right choices, take chances, and create change. Chances, choices, and change. There's so much happening in real time here in TMUC. Ramsha, if you look at our structures, we have an career development center. We have industry placement center, industry academia linkages center. We have student affairs, campus life. We have marketing and communication, digital communications. In real time, there's so much of information that when is the job fair and when is the recruitment for incubation center, when are we doing summer internships, when are we doing community service, when are we doing social action, volunteerism, corporate events, CEO talks, founder talks, leadership talks, professional talks, government talks, stakeholder talks, society talks. I would like the TMUC students and community in Peshawar, Abbottabad, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Gujranwala, Faisalabad, Lahore, Karachi, and very soon in other parts of the country to please pick up the thread. When you hear information on our socials, on our digital platforms, may that be Facebook, Instagram, or our LMS, or our notice boards, turn around, look around you, pick up opportunities. One small thread that they will pick up will take them to an international mooting competition. One stop thread will take them to London. One will take them to Colombia. One will take them to Europe, in Germany. So I would like young people at TMUC not just to focus on the academics and the construct of teaching and learning, but beyond that, to see opportunities for life skills development, for social and personal quotient. So these days, they call it the EQ, the emotional quotient, the digital quotient, the empathy quotient, and the DI, the disruptive quotient. So I would like young people to look at that. And to my community and fraternity is that the message is to you and to my leadership and to colleagues is that thank you for everything that you have done. And thank you for being with TMUC. And best is yet to come. And together we are all making a difference. There's nothing more profound than to be associated with as a knowledge worker. People take a lot of pride that they are corporate workers, finance workers, public sector workers, or legal workers. But being a knowledge worker, being in part of the knowledge society, you have an influence which is generational. And to conclude, my message to the faculty and my teachers and my scholars is, at TMUC, we call them scholars, just like anyone would call a pilot as a captain. So my message to my scholars is that, look, if there is a wrong engineer, a bridge would collapse and 200 cars would fall.
Yeah.
And if there is a wrong doctor, a patient would die. And if there is a wrong pilot, a plane would crash. But if there is a wrong teacher or a lecturer or a professor, a generation would be buried. So please take the responsibility of teaching, education, knowledge, and research with utmost care, diligence, and preparedness.
Certainly, sir. And I think they do. We have amongst the best scholars in our campuses. Sir, a very big thank you for coming all the way, taking out the time. Yes, it has been a little tough getting in these 2 chairs right now, but it's certainly been worth it. It's been worth the wait. And thank you for inspiring every single one of us. I think whether we're talking about, again, the scholars, the students, the management here at TMUC, the leadership, this is something that we look up to every single day.
Thank you, Ramsha, very much. It is a singular honor and a source of pride. And I've thoroughly enjoyed my dialogue with you.
Thank you,
And
sir.
we will continue to have these voices and these validations.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much, sir.